Right. Hello and welcome back to the SNS Football Podcast. Something a little bit different today is got a little bit of a live stream going on. Easy. Right. Got a lot to get through. A lot of bits and bobs that have gone on. Firstly, just sort of rounded up a bit of the news that's come out sort of recently. As you can see, little banner going across the bottom of a bit of news. Just run over that. So we got, as expected, Amad Diallo is en route to Manchester United. This was a deal done in the summer on deadline day, along with Cavani and Pellistri. He is en route. He is, I think, on his way to Manchester now. He was on his way to Italy last night to sort out something in his passport, but he is now on his way to Manchester United. So whether he makes it in time for possibly the Watford game, I believe at the weekend in the FA Cup, who knows? Could be a little bit unlikely that, but he is on his way. Emi Buendia is on Arsenal's radar for being brought in January. However, similarly, I think with Max Aarons being linked to a lot of clubs, Norwich may not need the feel that they need to sell yet because they're they're doing well in the Championship. They're quite high. I think they're first or second, so it looks like they could end up back in the Premier League, and they're going to need him and Max Aarons and players like that next season if they come up. So they may feel that they don't need to sell just yet, but also that I think Arsenal are looking to get rid first rather than bring in. So obviously Kolasinac has gone. Socrates and Ozil are looking like they're going to go. It's just whether the offers can come in. Moises Caicedo, Ecuadorian defensive midfielder. Man United are very close to completing this deal. There's a decision going to be expected soon on whether that deal does get completed or not. So, I think in terms of that deal, that's going to get done if United want to pay the money and want to bring him in. There's no one else really sniffing about him. I think it's borderline done. I'm just going to get up now because there has actually been some news on this deal that's just come out. So where is it? So a quote just come out. It's from a guy that's basically going to be the club's new coach. He's set to become their new coach. He's come out and said that Moises Caicedo, who's being negotiated for a move to England, is 19 years old. He's a starter for Ecuador's first team and a product of the school of Independiente. I can't pronounce that. Independiente. Sorry. That's basically normal news. We knew that anyway. So yeah, I mean, it's whether United decide to get the deal over the line. I think it's about 5 million, if that. So, low risk, could be a high reward. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Ben, opinions on Michael Olise being up for Ballon d'Or 2021. Don't know, mate. I think he's doing well in the Championship. I think he needs to be banging goals in the Prem, and then we can talk about it. But you never know. You never know. Mbappe 2021. What for Man United? Yeah, I'd back that. Definitely not Liverpool. United signing nobodies. I wouldn't say that. I think with the players coming in, they could be nobodies, but so was Ronaldo when we brought him in. So we all know where he's gone on to do. He's won more Premier League titles than your club, mate. So I won't call him nobodies just yet. Right. We have had deals done we've got across the bottom there a few deals which have been completed. Obviously, if you tuned into one of the episodes, we did mention the first deal to sort of get done this January window, done before January, done in December. It was Dominik Szoboszlai, Leipzig. That's 20 million euros. Nainggolan has actually gone back to Cagliari on loan. This was a deal that in the summer was mentioned a lot. However, nothing really came to fruition in the end. He did stay at Inter, but he has gone back to Cagliari on loan. Like I mentioned earlier, Kolasinac has gone back to Schalke on loan. So Arsenal have, I suppose, recouped a little bit for him then, but we'll obviously look to sell him on in the future. Mele has gone to Genk from us. He's gone to Atlanta actually. Rather, he's gone to Genk. He's gone from Genk to Atlanta. That's 11 million. And Eric Garcia, I think this is a done deal. He is going to go to Barcelona. They've got an agreement for him to go there for free in the summer in 21. But obviously, if Barcelona want to get him now, they would have to pay City a little bit of money. But as far as I'm aware, it is a deal done for the summer. He will leave for free in the summer and join Barcelona and Ronald Koeman. So let me just fix this. That's new news for me, Brendan. That is new news for me. Sancho signing for West Brom. Could he keep him up though? To be fair, Reece's dad is a very famous man, so he may know what the crack is going on at Juventus. But Sancho to West Brom, I think, is highly unlikely. Right. So, in terms of other news that's come out recently, we've got Saliba. This has been reported a lot by multiple different outlets that he will be joining Nice on loan. Bit of a difficult one with Saliba because he was brought in, obviously, I think he was brought under Emery, but sent back on loan to Saint Etienne, I believe. And then obviously this season is fully joined, but hasn't really got a look in, and there has been rumours for what that could have been. But I don't think many people know what that was. So, I mean, he hasn't obviously had a chance this year playing 23s football, I think, for a lot of it. But yeah, that's Arsenal's thing to deal with, and he does look like he's going out on loan to Nice in the French league. He probably knows really well and does know really well, so he's looking to go out on loan there. Moise Kean could be going to PSG permanently for about £30 million, maybe 35 million euros. PSG are looking to transform that loan deal, season-long loan, into a permanent deal, and it's about £30 million, which is the price that they're looking to be offering. No news yet whether that's been agreed or whether that's done yet. So that's just talks at the minute. And then Newcastle, a team which has made improvements over the summer. They've obviously brought in Wilson, Lewis, Hendrick, Fraser. So good players there. They've obviously got St. Maximin. Joe Linton's actually playing relatively decent now compared to the low standard he was playing at beforehand. But they've been offered Tomori on loan from Chelsea, or they're looking at Tomori on loan, and they have been offered Hamza Chowdhury on loan from Leicester. Now, the Tomori one is a really weird one because I thought when he first came into that Chelsea team, I thought he was magnificent last season. He obviously got injured and then come back and never really nailed down a place again. And he hasn't done this season with the likes of Thiago Silva being added and then Zuma being there, Christensen. So it doesn't look like he's got an opportunity at all. And, a move away could do him the best because he, like I said, he's not getting game time. And I remember at one point, I think I said that I would have started him for England at centre half. Possibly, I think it was with Maguire or someone, but he was doing that well at the time. I would have started him for England, but at the minute, that doesn't look like the case. He's not getting the game time, so Newcastle could be a good move for him. Premier League football, but who knows? Who knows what could happen with Tomori? Whether he goes or stays, I think he'll go because he's not getting the football. And if he's a young player, he's going to want to get football. The same with Dan James at United. He could go if he wants to play regularly every week, because I don't think he will at United. So young players will look to play first team football. So I think Tomori could go. Chowdhury, I reckon, could go if Newcastle take up that offer from Leicester, because, like I said, he's not playing either. They've got Tillemans in the middle of the park. They've got Pratt in the middle of the park as well. Obviously, Maddison could play there. Ndidi, they've got options there, and Chowdhury hasn't really had a look in this season. So I think that could be a deal which could get done. So there's definitely a few to look at there and see what happens. Where's Messi going? Nowhere at the minute. Absolutely nowhere. Like everyone knows, he is free to negotiate with clubs, but no one has really come in for him yet and nailed down an offer for him, I don't think, at the minute. So yeah, Messi, I think there's 3 clubs he could end up at if he was to leave, and that's PSG, it's Man City, and the wild shot would be, for me, Inter Miami. They are the 3 that he could go to, but nothing on it at the minute. But as everyone knows, clubs are free to talk with him because he's 6 months left on his contract. I doubt he's going to sign a new one. I really doubt he will, especially with what happened in the summer. I still think he wants to leave. It hasn't improved a lot at Barcelona. So who knows? We've just had a new comment. Dexto YT, is Isco going to Arsenal? It's funny you mention this because we've got, if I just put this up a second, here we've got news that's literally just come out. And I don't know whether it's good or bad for Arsenal fans, but, about half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, Arsenal have decided against making a move for Isco due to the form of Emile Smith-Rowe. So, Dexter, if you're an Arsenal fan, what's your opinion on that? Because I suppose that's a good thing. For Arsenal, because if Smith-Rowe is playing well, a youngster, that could be the right way forward for Arsenal rather than going for Isco, because I think Isco's been linked with Everton as well. Going back with Ancelotti, I know Khedira has been linked with Everton. So be interested to see what happens with that one. But Dexter, Isco going to Arsenal, there could be your answer. Possibly not. Because I think that deal could have happened, and I think it still can happen. But if Smith-Rowe's playing well, and Arsenal want to save a bit of money and possibly put that towards someone else in the summer who may become available, I reckon Smith-Rowe could be the one for between now and the summer before Arsenal look properly. Because I did see, I can't remember who it was, but someone said there was who was it? Someone online did one player each team to sign in January, and the player for Arsenal was Felipe Coutinho. So that could be a big one for Arsenal, but I doubt that's going to happen. I doubt it, and who knows? But Dexter, there's the answer to your question. Dele Alli to PSG, Brano. Yeah, I think this could happen. I would be shocked if it didn't. I think this will happen. Pochettino's obviously in charge of PSG now. Dele Alli and Eriksen, I think, could end up there. I think that's easily could happen. Ali's obviously not playing. Eriksen barely playing. They've listed him, I think, for transfer in January anyway. But yeah, I think Dele Alli to PSG will be done. But like I said, all deals can fail and not go through. But I think this one looks likely because could Ali stay in the Prem? Possibly. But who would he go to? Would he go? How low down would he go to get game time? Because I think, if he went into Sheffield United, he'd easily walk into that team and add a bit of, creativity to their team and possibly, create some goals for him. But I don't think he'll go that low down. And if PSG's sniffing around, I don't think Sheffield United got a look in of signing him, to be honest. The Plymouth Romano, not quite yet. Not quite yet, Brano. Who is going to win the league? Do you know what? It's a tough one. It's such a tough one because you've got, let's put it so, we've still got so many games to go in this season. We've got, I think, 20 odd games to go in this season still, so it's a lot of points to be won and lost. But you've got Liverpool up there, United are up there, you've got Everton up there, Villa are up there, City, if they win a few games, they're up there. If Tottenham regain form, they're up there. If Chelsea somehow manage to put a good run together and other teams drop points in this unpredictable season, then they can be up there. So there's so many teams that can win this league. And, last season, Liverpool broke away by this point. They had, there were so many points clear. Whereas now you've got Liverpool, United level on points. I know Liverpool play tonight. And if they win that, they go obviously ahead. I think they'll go 3 points ahead, but United will still have that game in hand. So as of now, level on points. I think it could be anyone. It could be absolutely anyone. I think the favourites would be Liverpool again. City with the squad they've got and the with the ability and the quality that they've got, City will be favourites again. United would be the dark horses, not the favourites to win it, but they're there. They're there or thereabouts. If they can carry on the form, I'm trying not to get giddy yet, despite all the 21 is coming tweets on Twitter. I'm trying not to get caught up in that as much as I'd love to, but you do have to dream a little. But United are the dark horses if they can keep this run going and, pull off some good results. And I think if United beat Burnley, which is a game in hand, and go to Anfield and beat Liverpool, I think, they'll be taken really seriously in this title race. But, like I've said, with a lot of teams, you lose 3-4 games and all of a sudden you're 6th, 7th again and you're out of it. So you have to be careful that you don't get caught up in, we're huge title contenders, because then, you're not, because you lose a few games like Chelsea have, and they were serious title contenders. Now they're 3 points above Arsenal, who were relegation candidates. So that's how the Premier League goes, and especially this season, it's been utter madness watching it. So look, I can't say who's going to win it. It's too difficult, but there's clear favourites. The favourites are City and Liverpool, just because of the quality of squads. The dark horses are your United, your Evertons, even Tottenham, even Chelsea, if they could put a run together. Villa, they're the dark horses that have a shot. But I think if you're going to nail it down to 3, I'd say United, City, Liverpool. It'll be one of them. I can't see anyone else winning it, but I think it'll be one of them 3. Topic of United, Liverpool. Do you know what? I said this the other day. I said, whenever United played, when we played Chelsea and when we played City this season, I was scared of going into that game because I feel that them two are due a win over us, because last season we did a double over Chelsea, double over City. We beat Chelsea in the League Cup, and we beat City. Where else did we beat City? I can't remember. Oh, we beat them in the second leg of the League Cup. So we beat City and Chelsea 3 times last season. So I felt they were both due wins over us. That hasn't happened yet. So that means that their win could still be brewing. With Liverpool, we are due a win over you. We haven't beaten you since Mourinho's second season at Old Trafford, when Rashford sent Alexander-Arnold inside out and for a hot dog. So I'd always back United in any result. I don't by no means think it's going to be easy, but if United want to win the league, they've got to win this game. It's as simple as that. So I'll go 2-1 Man United for that. And I know you're not going to like that, Brendan, but I think if I'll go back United to win it, and I'll go 2-1 because we're due a win over you. We haven't won against you in a while. So, yeah. Dexter, can you tell us possible transfers to Real Madrid? It's a good question. Let me see if I've got anything. Obviously, I'll let you know about Isco possibly not leaving. But let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find anything about Real Madrid. Because Dexter, are you a Real Madrid fan or are you an Arsenal fan? Well, depending on what tickles your fancy, David Alaba is clearly on Real Madrid's radar, but I think he's on the radar of a lot of clubs. However, Real Madrid, I think, is his favourite, and that's where he wants to go. But I don't think there's anything in concrete done for that yet. That's just talk at the minute. You're a Real Madrid fan from Sri Lanka, so big up Sri Lanka. But yeah, David Alaba to Real Madrid could happen. But I don't think there's anything in concrete yet. I think that's the favourite. That's the place he could go. That's the most likely place he'll go out of, United or City or Chelsea, Real Madrid. Because I think he will leave. I think contract extensions talks have stopped with him at Bayern Munich. So I think he's going to leave. And they're going to have to cash in because he's out contract in the summer. But I do think that could happen, this deal. It's just whatever happens, whether they get the deal done in January. So David Alaba's one to look out for. Ramos is an interesting one. He looks like he could go to City or Man United. Their two clubs have been linked with Sergio Ramos. How much there is in that, I don't know. I don't think he's the sort of signing United should be looking at, to be honest. City is a whole different ball game. You don't know what Pep Guardiola wants. You don't know what tickles his fancy. So Ramos could leave, but I would highly doubt the club captain leaving. We're going to either Manchester club, and if he did, it'd be Man City. I don't think he'd join Man United anytime soon. Modric contract extension could happen. That could be close. Apparently, Pep Guardiola wants Eden Hazard at Man City. So if you're a Chelsea fan, you may not like that at all. I think Haaland could be an interesting one. I don't think he'll leave in January, but in the summer that could happen to Real Madrid. Raiola's come out and spoken about the sort of messages he got from the Barcelona sort of director or chief exec or something, and dismissed them. Said he wouldn't. I don't think he's joining Barcelona, and I think Haaland could end up at Madrid. But it depends. He could even end up at United at this rate. So Haaland could be one to watch for 21, whether it happens now in January or in the summer. One to look out for there. Apart from that, Salah, that's an interesting one. Mohamed Salah could go to Real Madrid. I've seen a lot of links there between Liverpool and Salah. I do feel Liverpool will sell Mane or Salah, and that's not me saying that because I'm a United fan and I want them to get rid of some of their best players so it weakens them. But I always said I thought Mane would go to Madrid, but Salah could quite easily go there as well. They're two world-class wingers. Won the Champions League, won the Premier League. It's up to Liverpool. Do they want to sell? They'd obviously get a huge fee for either of them, and it'd be up to players if they want to leave. But apart from that, I think it'd be interesting. But look, Real Madrid, they'll throw money about if the offer's there. If the players are there to get in, they'll get them in. But apart from that, Dexter, that's sort of the news on Real Madrid for the minute. If Salah goes and Mbappe comes, I still think Mbappe is destined to go Real Madrid. I don't think he'll go Liverpool. I think he's destined to go to Real Madrid. I can't see Mbappe going to Liverpool, and if he did, it'd be really, really unusual. To be fair, I know he's spoken highly about Liverpool in the past. I'm aware of that, but if the offer was there and Real Madrid come in, I think he won't say no to it now. He's been at PSG a few years now. We say he's experienced. He is, but he's only, 20, 21 still. Mbappe, he's no age at all, really. But yeah, I think so. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't think Mbappe comes. I don't think Mbappe goes Liverpool. I think Mbappe goes Real Madrid. I think Haaland goes Real Madrid this summer, possibly, and then Mbappe the season after. But I don't think Mbappe goes Liverpool. I don't think he does. And if he did, look, I'd hate it because he's joining Liverpool, but it'd be great for the Premier League to see him play week in, week out. It'd just be a shame he's in the wrong red kit. So, yeah. What else? Right. So I'm going to save this because we've actually got a guest coming on. We have got a guest coming on at some point to join us and have a little bit of a chat about, how to say this, recent downfall, I think is the correct term. Recent downfall is the term we'll look for here. So he's going to come on and we're going to have a little chat about his club in general and sort of what's gone wrong. As I mentioned earlier, Arsenal decided against making a move for Isco due to the form of Emile Smith-Rowe. That's from Sky Sports, so quite a reliable source, that, not just Joe Blogs from the local chippy. So, yeah, pretty reliable, that, and one that could happen. Official news that come out today: Darren Fletcher has joined Man United's first team coaching staff. Now, as a United fan, I don't mind it because club legend, same as Carrick, same as Ollie. However, we want good coaches, world-class coaches at Man United to help improve us. And Fletcher could well do that. I don't know what he's like as a coach. I don't think many people know what he's like as a coach. But, could he take United to the next step with his coaching? Who knows? Is he the right guy? Who knows? There's been some great reports from him, from Ollie, from people from around Man United and around the training ground. But, you have to see... you just have to see what happens with Fletcher. I think it's a great addition, and he knows what it takes to play for Man United and to win stuff, which is crucial for the team, which hasn't really got many winners in it. De Gea's won the league, Matic has won the league with Chelsea. I think Bruno might have won a couple league titles in Portugal, but I'm not too sure on that. But apart from that, there ain't many experienced winners in that team. So Fletcher coming in could help. But, we have to see what his coaching is like, first of all, and go from there. It is not. It is not Sam's Chicken #1 customer. Carefree Lewis G is not coming on, unfortunately. We might have to get him on, though. So Reese, if you let him know, we might have to get him on at some point. Who'll win the Champions League 2021? I think that Bayern Munich are always a machine, and we saw how good they were last season. They obviously added Sané to that. Douglas Costa's back, so they've added more firepower to their attack. They lost Thiago, obviously. Alaba, who knows what's happening with him, whether he's going to carry on playing if the deal goes through or not. So Bayern Munich, I think, are a huge shout still. They're still, they'll be up there, thereabouts. Liverpool, who knows? Will injuries take a toll on them? Don't know. Liverpool could win it again. Apart from that, Atletico, I think I've got a good chance this year. Doing really well in La Liga. I think they're top of the league. So yeah, Atletico top of the league. Got Suarez. João Felix is coming good now. So I think, Atletico are up there. Bayern Munich are up there. Liverpool could be up there. Real Madrid could be thereabouts. Juventus, Ronaldo, he loves playing in the Champions League. I think, he's going to want to win it with Juventus. He's had a couple of cracks at it and fallen short. City, it'll be interesting to see what City do in the Champions League this season, because, you haven't really got too far in it previously. So be interested to see what happens there. If I had to put money on it and tell you who will win it, I'll go Bayern Munich again. I'll go Bayern Munich. So James Wooden will love that. But I'm going to go Bayern Munich. Toby, feeling around the Jephcott rumours. I know he's not going. He's not going in January. For anyone who doesn't know what this is, Plymouth Argyle is our local club. So, we've Toby. I will. Can I do it? I will post a comment now. Just bear with me a second. So Toby does a blog, journalism on Plymouth Argyle. So, where is it? I will leave a link in the comments. Top man, Toby. Top man. I've just put a comment in the chat. That is Toby's blog about Argyle's recent win against Gillingham. Luke Jephcott is one of the best strikers in England. I think the stats say so. But he's not leaving in January. Ryan Lowe's come out and said that he's not leaving in January. If he did, it'd have to be a huge offer. I said this the other day. I think he's worth $5 million. He's that good. He's worth $5 million. So if anyone wants to come and buy him, he'll be minimum 5 mil. Luke Jeffcott, but he's not leaving in January. Not leaving. Tim Howard already plays for Toronto. I don't know what you mean, mate. He already plays for him, but Tim Howard still plays. Tim Howard still plays. He plays for Memphis. And the reason I know that, Reese, is because he plays there with Jose Baxter. He's the reason he's there, really, because they both played at Everton. So there you go, fun fact. But you know, Tim Howard still plays. He's not retired. But we've got Nick DeLine anyway. He's basically Tim. Dexter, who was faster, Kylian Mbappe or Terence Pahuri? I don't know who that second bloke is. Let me just look him up. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to go. Mbappe because I don't know who the other bloke is. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go Mbappe because he is rapid. Remember when he saw Argentina and he bum out? Saw them a new bum in the World Cup. He was unbelievable. Rojo couldn't get near Mbappe to kill him. Fake, not true. Mate, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, go and view Toby's blogs because he does some good stuff over there. He actually was in a press conference with Ryan Lowe the other day. So big up, Toby. We'll get you on the pod soon. In fact, if you're free now, you can come on now because you know we'll keep the live going for a little bit longer because we have got bits and bobs to talk about. I'm just going to see what's going on with our special guest. Still no word at the minute. Check Terence Perry viral video on you. I will do. I will do. Our special guest is currently getting his dinner prepared. Then he'll be on. Do you know what? I'm going to check this video out now. Let's have a look. Is he Dexter? Is he rapid? Like, is he? How quick are we talking? Do you think he's quicker than Mbappe? Oh, he's that guy. Oh my word! I have seen him actually. He's oh my god, he is quick. He's quick. That Puri is quick. I remember that video now. Now you mention it, he's quick. Not many, mate, because you haven't got me and Gabe doing that classic one-touch build-up back in like year 8 PE. So I don't reckon you're scoring many. But because you're a big tall outlet, I'll go 2. 2. One of them will be a header as well. One will be a header, mate. What are the odds? I might put a couple of quid on you to score 2 goals. What's the odds? Right. This news here, I don't know how true this is. Obviously, The Athletic have reported this. Frank Lampard's job as Chelsea manager is under serious threat, and the club has started to explore alternative plans. Have they? I don't know. Will they? I don't know. I think when a manager like Allegri's about or Tuchel comes available, you have to think about it and think, is this guy, the right person for our club? Is he the right guy to move us forward? But I still think with Lampard, I think he deservedly has got stick. I don't think he's got as much as he's deserved in the past, but he's deservedly getting stick now for how badly Chelsea are doing. However, and the reason he's getting this stick worse than, say, an Ole or an Arteta, if we look at Arteta, he hasn't had much money to spend. He's still got the same terrible squad that he inherited, really. And Ole has done bits and bobs and he's had money to spend in rebuilds, but nothing like Frank had, especially with all the attacking options. And I saw something today which said that Frank Lampard spent 200 million on attacking players, of which they've scored one consolation goal last night in so many games. Like it's quite poor. I'll see if I can find it quickly, but I couldn't believe it when I read it because let's not beat around the bush. Chelsea have spent a lot of money on players and especially attacking players, and to not have scored many goals with all this attacking firepower that they got, I don't know, but it's it's one for Frank Lampard to try and sort out if he's given the time. Yes, here we go. Lampard spent 155.7 million on attacking players, plus another 45 million on an attacking left back. In their 4 games against Liverpool, United, City, and Spurs, Chelsea have scored once in injury time of a game they lost 3-1, which was obviously last night. I think that says it all, really. That says it all. Here we go. Where is it? Dexter, if you're still watching, Real Madrid news we got for you. Okay. Sorry, my mic was muted then. But as I mentioned, Real Madrid are leading the race. Real Madrid are leading the race to sign David Alaba, talks with agents, and now progressing in order to reach an agreement as a free agent, but not signed yet. He received approaches from 5 different clubs, and he always had the dream of playing for Real. I think City are one of them clubs, United are one of them clubs, and probably Chelsea are one of them clubs as well. But look, who knows? Who knows? Right. Is Vinicius Junior underrated? I don't know if he's underrated. I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of Spanish football. But I think when you sign players like him, you signed Reina, who's on loan at Dortmund now, you signed Rodrigo, a lot of hype around these Brazilian players that come from the Brazilian league. I don't know if he's underrated. I think he's performed okay for Madrid. Is he at the levels yet? No, but he's still young, so there's still, the chance for him to go on and achieve great things at Real Madrid. It's just up to himself. Can he push himself to be the best? Because really, Real Madrid have brought in him, Rodrigo, Reina to try and get these youngsters in to become some of the best in the world, like your Ronaldos, like all their great players they've had over the years. So that's why they're there. That's why they're there. But I don't know if he's underrated or overrated, to be honest. I don't watch a lot of Spanish football, but I think he's a good player and he's got great potential. He just needs to fulfill it and see where he goes from there. Right, we're going to move on now. Our special guest has entered, and I'm going to leave this banner on. And where is he? Let's get him on. Morgan, can you hear us, lad?
I can hear you, and I've seen the banner a few times.
Yeah. Well, go on. But firstly, your thoughts on that? Thoughts on it? Chelsea. By the way, this is a Chelsea fan.
It's true. There was a lot of reports that came out, quite conveniently timed to come out at the full-time whistle yesterday, but they've been built up, you could say, from that first defeat we got against Everton in mid-December, and we've won once, arguably, luckily 3-0 against West Ham since then. So this is well founded. This isn't just a reactionary thing. This has happened for about a month. And we have a track record of getting rid of managers quickly.
Yeah. Do you think this has come about because Tuchel has come available? Because, like we all know, Poch has gone to PSG. Tuchel is now available. Allegri's been available. There are probably other managers out there that are available that we haven't mentioned. You could go for maybe a Nagelsmann if the chance was there to possibly pay a bit of money for him. Do you think this has come about because Tuchel's now available and Allegri's been available as well?
Nagelsmann's always the name that comes about. Every time I've heard of possibly Chelsea getting rid of Frank Lampard, it's been Nagelsmann. The Allegri one, I feel if he's going anywhere, or if there's ever a concrete rumour, it's probably Arsenal. That's just personal feeling. And the Tuchel one, he's just been sacked very quick to go into another job. If he is going, he's going to bounce straight from PSG to the Premier League as well. It's a bit of a culture change. So if I would say anyone, I'd say Nagelsmann, but I would prefer Frank to stick it out to the end of the season.
I think the thing with Tuchel as well is if he doesn't go to Chelsea, where is his next job? Because could he come to the Prem? But if so, what club would he be looking at? Obviously, Arteta's still in a sticky wicket at the minute. He's got some results under him, but there's no doubt there would still be probably a little bit of concern because, like we all said, 3 bad results and they'll be back where they were 2-3 games ago in the relegation scrap. So he could end up there, I suppose. But would he take that if Arsenal 15th? Would he take that job? It's where is his next job if he wasn't to go to Chelsea and if he didn't get offered it?
Arsenal aren't attractive to anyone other than Arteta and their board. That's the issue they've got. Even with this run that they've gone on, which has pulled them away from the relegation scrap that they were never really in. I don't know. I can't see any managers really changing in the Premier League at the moment, other than in the bottom half, just because
Yeah.
I feel like teams need stability because of how crazy this season has proven to be. I think reactionary sackings are not the way forward this year.
Yeah,
So,
I think with Chelsea, it's such a difficult one because, like I mentioned this on the episode, the one's gone by, about when the other Morgan, asked me about Arteta, and he said, "You Arteta in, Arteta out." And look, as much as I think that his tactics at times are weird, I think Ollie's tactics at times are weird, but I think that more comes down to his substitutions that are weird. And Lampard probably has weird tactics as well. But with Arteta, you have to give him the chance to build his own squad. He's taken over a squad which is quite frankly terrible, and is where it is because they're terrible. Because the only shining light they had last season was really Aubameyang, and he's not performing this season to the levels he was last. Whereas with Chelsea and with Lampard, he didn't massively overachieve. He overachieved last season with the squad he had, with the transfer ban, with Hazard leaving. But this season he's been fully backed, with a lot of players, a lot of money going out, and he's not quite hitting the heights I think Chelsea fans and all the Premier League thought that Chelsea would hit this season. And I think that's why there's so much pressure on him now compared to possibly Ollie or Arteta, because with Arteta, like I said, his squad suggests that they're terrible and that's where they should be. And with Ollie, obviously, he's doing a great job at the minute, being basically joint top. I know people hate that phrase, but that's where we are. We're level on points. So I think that's why Lampard is getting more stick. And you could argue rightfully so with the amount of money he spent.
It's always going to come back to that this season. It's going to come back to that. We spent 8 million on Havertz, 40 million on Werner, 35 on Ziyech. If you go back to last summer, or last January, there was 60 million on Pulisic. Chilwell we spent a bit on Mendy. Chilwell was 50 million. So it's always going to come back to the price tags. And you look at the players that we've brought in and that I've just rattled off, not one of them should have come in and weakened the side. Yet the performances we've seen over the last 6 or 7 games have been weaker than most of the performances we saw last season. You're right. Last season we got top 4. I expected 8. Before the season, my predictions were Chelsea 8, nowhere near. So most people, Chelsea exceeded expectations. This season was closing up to Liverpool, Man City, be a force, start getting back to where Chelsea should be, win a trophy. It started off looking okay. We started a little bit, got Mendy in, started to progress, and then it just went. We've just hit this rough patch, whatever you want to call it, and it feels like with Frank Lampard, it only got 2.5 seasons into management. He's not sure how to get out of this scenario. More money in January probably won't help. It needs to be a look deep inside the coaching staff, because it's Lampard, it's Jody Morris, it's everyone in the club needs to go, how can we arrest this slide? Because at the moment, not just top 4 is looking risky, Europa League is looking risky.
Yeah, I think
that shouldn't be where we are.
No, I've not after because I think we're in agreement. After last season, both our clubs, I know we finished 3rd, you finished 4th, but the points were the same. Goal difference is what separated us. And, we were in the same boat. Basically, we just want to see progression from our clubs, and build on 3rd for us, 4th for you. You got to an FA Cup final. We got 3 semi-finals. So just building on that. And like I said, on the previous episode of the podcast, and I've said before with Ollie, I just want to see progression. If it's slow, okay, but as long as it's there, that's all I care about. And at the minute, the targets I had for him, and I mentioned in the video, was win the Europa League, because he's had a crack at it before. He has to win it now. He has to finish 3rd again, but at the minute he's exceeding that massively, because he's basically 1st. And he had to win another trophy. I think because the feeling is that he could still bin off the Europa League and play the youngsters in it and stuff like that and get them experience. So I think if you win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, we're in the semi-final already of the Carabao Cup, so he might as well go all out to win that. He's got City again. So that's for me why I wanted progression from my club, and that's all I want. All I want is progression from my club to show that we're going straight or going upwards and going back to hopefully the top. And that's got to be similar with Chelsea. And this season has taken a huge dent in that progression, surely, because where you lie on the table now. I said before you come on, I don't know whether you were watching, but you're now 3 points ahead of Arsenal when they were getting relegated a couple of weeks back.
We were laughing so much, Arsenal. We were bantering them so much on Twitter. Relegation fight. We have been sucked in, and we're just what you say about Ole is completely right as well. And that's where I'm on a bit of a sticky wicket with the Lampard thing, because he's been given 3 seasons he's now in with United. So he's been given time to Ole.
Ole's had 2.5 seasons.
2.5. But he's now got pretty much his own squad. And he found that gem. He found Bruno Fernandes. I won't lie, he turned your season around last season, and he's kept on doing it this season. And that's where I'm a bit like, do we keep Lampard just because it's proven with Arteta, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, even Klopp at Liverpool, that you stick with the manager and it will breed success. They will eventually come good. We shouldn't be in the position we're in, and that's the thing that's annoying most Chelsea fans.
Do you know, the thing is, though, is you speak about the effect Bruno had on Man United, and believe me, he had, I remember we were signing him, and I was funny enough, we were at Argyle at the time, and I think Argyle had a midweek game, and it come through, and I said, oh my god, we're finally signing him, because we chased him in the summer, chased him all January. It didn't look like it was going to happen. It looked like Barcelona were going to nab him, but we finally signed him. Imagine if they had. But Bruno had an impact, and I remember at the time thinking we can't expect too much of this guy, because let's put this, we were in a mess really, and we can't expect him to just turn our club around and get us top 4. But he did that, and that's why United fans love him and rate him so highly, and he's done it again this season. And I think when we seen Werner come in, Havertz, Ziyech had his injury, we expected them players, along with Pulisic, and with Tammy, you had a good season as well, and with possibly Hudson-Odoi to have a good season, because he's been around the Chelsea squad for a while, but he hasn't really nailed down a good season. We expected Chelsea to have some absolutely amazing firepower and really set this Premier League alight, and it hasn't happened. And you have to think, can Frank Lampard get the best out of these players, these young players as well, or does a new coach have to come in and get the best out of them? Or is it, worst case scenario, you have to move them on because they're not suited to the Premier League? And I think with Werner, we've been screaming for him to play striker. I have been. I know you have been. And he played there, and he didn't look like a number 9. He looked too weak to play as a number 9 with back to goal.
Werner, hearing what people have said about him in the Bundesliga, he's never been sort of the style we played last time would never suit him, because you've got to get him running in behind. We've said this countless times.
Didn't he play as a 2 at Leipzig, 2 up front?
Yeah, with Poulsen.
Yeah, big man, little man.
Look, Chelsea can do that. We've got Giroud, we've got Tammy Abraham. Both of those players can support a second striker. There's no excuse this season. Last season had the excuse of Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, Fikayo Tomori, who else was there? All those players had been on loan in the Championship. So coming into the Premier League was a bit alien to them. They were new. It was first season in the Chelsea first team. But now you're looking at it, and bar sort of Mendy, every single one of the players that consistently starts is used to playing for a big side. So none of this, they're not used to playing for a big team. Thiago Silva last night looks like a 20-year-old. He was jumping into challenges left, right, centre. The only good players I saw last night were Billy Gilmour, Hudson-Odoi, Havertz. That was it, and they were the 3 substitutes. So, and the excuse they need to bed in, they need to get used to the Premier League. Is that an excuse anymore? We were in early January. We started the season in September. You're used to the schedule. It hasn't changed since September. So I don't. Inevitably, it always goes back to the manager, but I do think the players aren't playing for him right now, and that's the other issue, because we don't look like we've got a side play.
Yeah, I think you brought in the youngsters last year, and there was question marks about Tammy because previously in the Prem he'd only played for Swansea and they got relegated. Mount hadn't played in the Prem.
Again, this season he's our top scorer.
Yeah, Mount hadn't played in the Prem, and I think he's been arguably your best player this season. Hudson-Odoi, he's been, stop-start a lot at Chelsea. Obviously, the talks of Bayern Munich sort of forced him in.
For 4 years.
Mm.
And
yeah,
bar 18-19, I know last season he was coming back from injury. Bar 18-19, he hasn't had a season where everyone's gone, oh, he can replace Hazard, which is inevitably what we're still looking to do.
Yeah, I think just the thing that baffles me about Chelsea, and I'll pull this up for you to see now as well. The thing that baffles me is this. Tomori looking like he's going to go on, or could go on loan to Newcastle, mentioned there, but there probably is other clubs sniffing. I don't understand why this guy hasn't been given a chance since basically he returned from his injury, because I remember he returned, scored against Hull in the FA Cup for you, and then since then he's been non-existent to your team, really.
He played this season. He played 2 games. He played Barnsley in the League Cup and Tottenham in the League Cup, and then combined he conceded 1 goal.
Did he play as a centre half as well?
Yeah, he played alongside Rudiger, I think, Rudiger or Christensen in both games. And he turned down the chance to go on loan to West Ham in the summer.
Yes.
But something has happened, because he was everywhere last season. Every time Frank Lampard was naming a team sheet, even look at their time at Derby, he was there. It was him and Mount were constantly in that Derby team. And again, the same thing happened last season up until he got injured. And then something has happened. I doubt we'll ever know. But and the thing that annoys me is you've got Thiago Silva team, definitely our best 2 centre-backs. He should be number 3. He should be the one that's on the bench, and he's not, because he's better than Rudiger and Christensen. Like, that's just fact. So
this is my fear with Lampard bringing in these players. Is Lampard got a lot of praise for finally bringing the youth into Chelsea, and he has done. He's brought in Tomori, Abraham, Gilmore, Mount. He has brought in players. Even Mark Guehi played against United in the League Cup. Yeah, Reece James. So these players, like if I speak about Mark Guehi now, is he still at Swansea? I think he's gone back. He's gone back to Swansea on loan. Is he going to be looking at this and thinking, if Tomori's not getting a chance, who played a lot last season before his injury, am I going to get a chance? And is that chance still there for the youngsters to really come through? Because I remember saying to you, and I said this before you come on, at the time when Tomori was playing, I thought him and Maguire should have been England's centre-backs for, the games they were playing. And he's just gone off the boil, and he's not been playing, and I don't understand it. And look, do you think a move away for Tomori? Do you think it has to be a loan? Do you think it has to be permanent for him? And do you think that'll benefit him? Because I think it will.
I think a loan's important. I think he needs to get out of Chelsea I would have preferred him to get out for a season, completely clear his head of anything that's going on at the club and play football. Because that's what he needs. He needs to show the management at Chelsea that he can play football and play it well. Is the chance gone for youngsters to get through at Chelsea? No, because Jody Morris was the academy coach, and I don't think he's just going to slam the door and say no more academy, because
that's true.
They are still coming through. We've had Lewis Hayton training this week. Tino Anderin is also coming through. There are a few Chelsea youngsters who are being blooded into the first team at the moment. But Mark Guehi arguably is better than Tomori was at the same stage, so I don't think he'll look at it as either as a I'll come back for a few matches and then I'll be out the door, because I genuinely think something has happened in Tomori's recovery stage where he's been told, we'll never know, but he's been told something, or he said, because the 2 of them, Lampard and Tomori, were getting on fine publicly.
Yeah, I just think it just baffles me, because this guy just has gone completely off the radar, and he's like I said before. I thought this guy would be England's centre back and partner whoever, whether that's been Maguire.
If you cast your mind back a year, we were saying, what is England's strongest 11?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's Tomori's there. And there was reason for that. He was keeping clean sheets. He scored that banger of a goal at Wolves. He was in red hot form, and then all of a sudden he's just vanished.
Yeah. What do you think the problem is at Chelsea? How could it be fixed under Lampard, or do you think it's a new manager job? And can you even pinpoint what it is?
That's the issue. I don't think we know what the issue is. We've got enough players to score goals, get the goals not being scored. I heard that thing you said earlier about only scoring one consolation goal in the last I can't remember how long he said, but it was
against the big six, really. Against the big six.
Yeah, we scored a consolation against City. We scored a consolation against Arsenal. 0-0 with United, 0-0 with Tottenham, and we
Liverpool.
2-0 to Liverpool. So the issue is I don't think most of our players are big game players. Werner is not a big game player. I heard something the other day that said there was a game in the Bundesliga last season against Bayern Munich. If Leipzig win, they go top. He missed something. They said that he missed something like 6 sitters.
He's been missing a lot this season, hasn't he?
But he's always been like that, though. By the sounds of it, he needs about 10 chances to score one, and we don't need that. If you look down the years at good or top Premier League strikers, Costa, Drogba, Lukaku, Ibrahimovic, Aguero, they get one chance, they tuck it away. Even if you go further afield, goes to Serie A, Mauro Icardi. There was one game, I think it was the Milan derby, touched the ball 3 times. One was a 94th minute winner. That's what a top striker does. And so that's part of the issue. The other issue, I don't think he knows the best team, which isn't helped by the current situation. The goalkeeper still looks shaky, even though Mendy had such a good start. He's still looking, and it was always going to happen. The back four, Chilwell showing cracks because he's very good attacking defensively. He looks loose. He lost so many times, particularly last night. He would go forward and leave that gap for someone to run into behind him. And Reece James, right back's probably our strongest position. I said it last season, I'll say it again. Right back's probably the best position on the pitch. The midfield, Kante hasn't looked himself for the last month or two. Possibly with Gilmour coming back, that will change, but I don't know. Mount can't do it all and has been trying to, which is annoying. And the front three, we had so many hopes for Ziyech, Pulisic, Werner, and we saw the front three last night, and not one of them performed. So many times, not one of them took a shot.
Well, yeah, it was a poor performance. You mentioned Chelsea possibly not spending any money in January. Do you think you'll get anyone in? Do you think you'll get anyone in? If you don't think you will, would there be anyone you'd love to get in?
I don't know how big this is. I heard Donnarumma for a new goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, that name's been chucked around for the summer, I think, for a free deal because the contract runs out.
I'll be honest, I don't know who I'd want in the summer, January, because I don't like the January window. I think it's a bit of a panic buying window where people go, he's been in good form for half the season, let's grab him. So what
about this Donny?
See, even there, he hasn't played for about half the season. Simeone hasn't liked him or whatever. I think the stuff kicked off because they decided to terminate his contract. But I'd love it at Chelsea. I'd be lying if I said no, because look at what he did at Chelsea, and I'd be fuming if I saw him go to any other Premier League club because he's a menace to play against. So yeah, that would be a dream signing, but I can't see it happening.
Do you think? So you don't see it happening. I don't think there's many barriers in that deal happening. Costa going back to Chelsea. I mean, he's a free agent. There's going to be no money involved. It's just, will Chelsea agree a deal with him? And I think, Costa would probably be up for going back to Chelsea. It's just, you're adding more firepower to your team. And do you need that, or do you need more defensive solidarity?
That's where I was going to go. Defensively, I think we said it in the summer as well. We were looking very good going forward with the signings. That's been proven slightly wayward come the season. But defensively, we still look quite shaky, particularly in the middle of the back four, because we'll get 2 more seasons out of Thiago Silva possibly. Then we need someone else alongside Zuma. And that's going to be an issue. We need another left back, because at the moment we just have Ben Chilwell who's good enough, because Emerson isn't. Marcos Alonso's cut all ties to Chelsea because of how he kicked off against West Brom. I think, like I just said, the right back position is the only position in the back four where I think that, well, even there, Azpilicueta is not going to go forever, so there needs to be another change there for someone to challenge Reece James. That could have been Tariq Lamptey. I think we might have a buyback option on there, but other than that, we probably need to get a new one in. I was going
to say with Kante and Jorginho and even Kovacic not really being up to scratch, if you had kept Lamptey, do you not think this is the time to see what it's like with Reece James in defensive midfield, and then you got Lamptey as a right back?
The issue is we didn't sell Lamptey, or we didn't intentionally sell Lamptey. It was his decision. It wasn't like the Chelsea board and Frank Lampard went, "You're not going to play, off you go." It was his decision, and he knew he thought he wouldn't get past Reece James. So I don't know if Reece James would have got the nod in defensive midfield, because Billy Gilmour was always going to come back from injury, and
he has played there though.
He has played there, and I think he's very similar to the calls for Trent Alexander-Arnold to play there, because they're very similar ball playing fullbacks. So it could happen, but would you sacrifice one of the best young right backs in the league to play in a position where, especially in the Premier League, it would be very alien to him?
All right. Well, no, I don't want to keep you for too long, but give me sort of one player, one dream player for you to sign in January, one realistic, and then one player you think will leave in January, whether that be a loan or a permanent.
My dream will be the same as it was in the summer. It'll be Jadon Sancho. I'd still love him to come to Chelsea. I
hate to piss on your bonfire, mate, but their CEO has come out and said he's not being sold in January.
Oh no, I'm aware of that, but that would be the dream.
Yeah, true.
My realistic probably be the one you've got on screen, Diego Costa.
Yeah,
I think that is realistic. I think it could happen
over Donnarumma.
Over Donnarumma, because I think the player who could leave could either be Giroud, because of Brian said a bit more game time, or we're talking first team player to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, Tomori, you could count Tomori in there.
Jorginho.
Do you know where do you think he'll go?
Back to Italy.
Napoli again, or elsewhere?
I don't know where, but I just think because of the players that are coming through, I think they're going to be higher in the pecking order than him. Kante, Gilmour, Kovacic. I think he'll find himself fourth in that order, and he'll want to, because of the experience he's got, he'll want to keep playing to get into the Euro squad for the summer. So,
he can't even take a penalty anymore, can he?
No, he's never missed a penalty. I don't think in his career, but he's definitely not missed one for Chelsea. Then he's missed 3 out of 4 this season.
It's been poor, isn't it?
It's very poor.
It's very poor. But like you said, I think like to sort of put an end on Chelsea, unless of course you want to speak more about it, because I know you were very upset last night, and we felt your pain. We didn't really take the mick too much, but I think I know what your answer is going to be. I'd be hugely shocked if it wasn't what I think it's going to be. Lampard in, Lampard out.
I'm Lampard in.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I would find it so hard to turn on Lampard because of the club legend status and just everything he did as a player. But that's the issue. We can't keep saying Lampard in because of what he did as a player. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
football is a results business. You're only as good as your last result. And if this continues, he will have to be shown the door simply because of the way football is. It would be hard for any Chelsea fan, and probably the Chelsea board, considering who's on the Chelsea board, to say you're not good enough. But that's how it would have to be.
that's true. And I think, what does Lampard have to do for you now to stay in a job? Because I don't know how long he's got on his contract. I know with Ollie he's got a year and a half, but no manager goes into the final year without an extension. So for Ollie, he's got 6 months. He's got to the end of the season. So if we look at this season for Lampard, what does he have to do to stay in a job? Or what does he have to do to earn a new contract, really? Because, basically what does he have to do to not lose his job by being sacked or doesn't get a contract extension?
He has to at least match last season. So he has to at least get top 4. And that's just to, I think, stay in the job. If he wants to be secure in the job, he has to get top 4 and win a trophy. The issue is, what competitions are we left in? The FA Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League. Well, the likelihood of winning the Champions League is slim because we've got Alex Madrid round of 16. The Premier League is very slim because of the form we find ourselves in at the moment. And the FA Cup, who knows? It's knockout football, anything can happen. So that would be, those are the two sort of options he's got. I can't see us missing out on top 4 just yet because I do think this side will get arrested before the end of January. But if it's not, he could be out of a job before the end of the season.
So you mentioned winning a trophy and top 4. I'm obviously, you're aware of Chelsea Rory, obviously formerly of Blues Fans TV, but is now on the kickoff. And he mentioned like Chelsea going for the top 4 now is slim because you've got Liverpool and United, who obviously there at the minute. City, I think, of the quality, like I mentioned, to come back and be up there again. And then ultimately you're fighting for one place with about 4 or 5 other teams. But I still agree with you. I still agree with you, and I still think that any shift in results and you go from being where you are now to 3rd or 2nd, I think this season is so unpredictable when no one's even broken away at the top yet. We had Liverpool last season break away at the top. They haven't now. No one's broken away apart from Sheffield United breaking away at the bottom, but that's obviously at the other end of the table. Even that like 3rd to 8th, 9th is only a few points in it. And then from you to Arsenal, which is like 8th to 11th, there's 3 points in there. There's not a lot in the whole table.
That's so embarrassing here. You said Chelsea, Arsenal, 8th and 11th. It is. We were all laughing at United, particularly about a month or 2 ago, saying 14th, same points as Newcastle. And I honestly feel like I'm getting flashbacks to our season because you're the same points as Newcastle, and all of a sudden, bang, it was just top 4. This season it has been, and it will continue to be. I don't think it will change throughout the season. Any sort of good run you can find yourself in that top 4 title race, even. And the issue we're going to have, you said Liverpool, United have got 2 spots, City possibly a 3rd. Look at the other teams in the fight for the 4th spot. Leicester, Arsenal, Chelsea, can't discount Wolves, Tottenham.
Everton, Villa.
I'd say Everton, Tottenham, Leicester, possibly even Arsenal have got better resource than Chelsea to get in the top 4, and that's particularly Tottenham and Everton. Look at their managers, look at their squads. There's no reason they shouldn't be top 4.
Yeah. So I guess we'll finally wrap up on Chelsea now. where is your prediction now that Chelsea will finish in the league? Where is your prediction? Where do you think you'll finish? And do you think realistically you'll come away with a trophy? If so, which one?
Fifth for final position. I think we will probably manage to take it to the final day and just miss out. And still, I think we'll win a trophy now.
So ultimately, I think that that doesn't keep his job, does it?
No, I think we'll be lucky if we get to Champions League quarterfinals. We're not winning the league, and the FA Cup. I don't know. We should have won it last year. Is the way I'm judging it, and we didn't. So
yeah. Perfect. We'll have a quick chat about Argyle, because obviously at the minute we have arguably the best striker in England, but
that's nice.
I mean, our season is
actually and come back in about 10-15 minutes.
We might have stopped by then, but just quickly about Argyle before we shoot off.
Go on then.
Where are we finishing? Where are we finishing in the league? Because we started well, we've slipped off a little bit. Where do you think we're going to finish?
About where we are. We're finishing between 15th and 11th, because we've got good. We're good going forward. It's that back three, and we've got a back four with the keeper as well. We need at least two centre backs. We need one who can command the back three. None of them can. And we need another one who can go alongside Kyle Watts, because I feel like he's the only one who's consistently putting in solid performances. Canavan is good, but only on certain days, and particularly when he's got Woodson alongside him, he's awful. And Ahogu or Aimson, very mistake prone. Even going forward, all right. Even going forward, only one striker scoring goals consistently, and that's Jeff Scott. Hardy is assisting but not scoring. So, yeah, lower mid-table.
All right, last one. How much is Jeff Scott worth? And if so, is he being sold this January?
3+ million, and no.
Morgan, thank you very much for your time. I'll let you go and do your business, but thanks for coming on, and I appreciate your time, mate.
See you later.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, mate. So yeah, a little insight there from a Chelsea fan. Obviously, right in the thick of it is his club. He'll know a little bit more than me. So that was the special guest. During that, we did get breaking news of a deal which could go through. Marcos Rojo has agreed everything to join Boca Juniors on a 3-year contract. Last season, he obviously went out on loan in January to Estudiantes, I believe. I've pronounced that correctly. He went back to Argentina, went back to, I think, his boyhood club. It's coming through now. Marcos Rojo is set to leave Man United for Boca Juniors. Rojo would join on a 3-year deal. Look, if this is true, which I think it's very likely it is. He has been a good servant to Man United. He obviously come in under Van Gaal with a whole new era of players coming through after, a lot of the title-winning squad eventually did move on after that poor season from Moyes. He come in, looked like a good centre-back, obviously coming from Sporting Lisbon. Did well, I think, for Argentina in that World Cup as well in 2014. And Rojo is very similar to Bailly. He's an absolute madman, and he has great qualities. However, sometimes he's just too mistake prone or gives too many mistakes away, or he's just not quite good enough for what Man United need now. And he hasn't had a run of games for a while. I can't remember the last time he played for Man United. It might have been, the last time I can remember was against Liverpool in a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. That's the last time I can remember him playing, and he was at fault for the goal, for Lallana's equaliser. So look, Rojo, he needed to move on. He was part of the deadwood that is still there, along with the likes of Lingard, Phil Jones, Romero. They're the sort of players that need to be fully moved on. And then I believe the deadwood has gone from Man United finally, because like I said, since Ollie's come in, he's done exactly what we wanted every other manager to do in terms of rebuild the squad and rebuild the team. We saw Valencia go, we saw Fellaini go, Smalling's gone, Young's gone. Players have gone which were deadwood, and he's done the best job of getting rid of them than any other United manager post Fergie has. So, look, Rojo has been a great servant to United. Unfortunately, I think his time is up, and it looks like it is now. Boca Juniors is a good move for him, in my opinion. He's obviously going back to Argentina. I know he was linked with a couple Premier League clubs, Sheffield United, Newcastle, teams like that. Would Sheffield United have done him any good? Probably not in the end. I don't think that would have done him much good, because I don't think he would have saved them single-handedly. But look, Marcos Rojo, we obviously wish him well, and we thank him for the pretty much 6-7 years he's been at Man United. He's been there that long. But like I said, a great servant, and one that he could probably be proud on. He's won obviously medals in his time, an FA Cup, a Europa League, a League Cup, a Community Shield. So he's not coming away from United empty-handed. He is coming away with trophies and some great experiences as well. So yeah, Marcos Rojo has agreed everything to join Boca Juniors on a 3-year contract. I'm just going to check a source here. This is from Martin Arvalo. Yeah, and he's a reporter from Argentina, I believe. So seems pretty real. Rojo looks like he's off. Him and Bailly were absolute madmen, and I remember them two being a centre-back pair, and you got Bailly. It was a joy to watch because he's funny, but he would die for Man United, and then you got Rojo next to him, 2-footed people, and flying elbows and everything, and that was basically without excuse my French, that was the shithouse era of Man United, with Mourinho in charge, with Zlatan, with Pogba, with Bailly and Rojo at the back, with Valencia, some real tough players in there. That was, and Fellaini, that was Man United under Mourinho for a large part of it. Some real tough players. Even Lukaku come in, he's a big tough player. So he's served us well. He's played a huge part in the past. Well, since post Fergie, really. But yeah, I think his time's up, and we wish him all the best at Boca Juniors, and I think he will do well there. Like I mentioned, it's in Argentina, it's his home country. He was obviously on loan last season to Estudiantes, same league. So yeah, I think he'll be fine there. But yeah, a bit of breaking news there whilst we were talking to Morgan. I believe that is sort of it in terms of news at the minute. Just kind of a scour for any news that we haven't mentioned and is worth mentioning. We've got here Inter Milan have offered Christian Eriksen to both Real Madrid and Atletico. So, if still watching, Dexto, bit of Real Madrid news for you there. Christian Eriksen being offered to Real Madrid and Atletico. I think PSG could be one of the most likely places he goes, with Poch being there. It did say, though, that Spanish giants are unlikely to make a move, however, because of financial difficulties. Real Madrid set to pursue a move for Mohamed Salah in the summer. So for you, Dexto, Salah maybe in the summer, not in January, but I don't think that's shock news for anyone. This is an interesting one. I remember speaking to Brendan, who was who's been in the comments, and Reese, who's been in the comments, 2 Liverpool fans, and there was a couple other. I remember speaking to them because it got reported that they'd agreed a deal with, or they hadn't agreed a deal, but Jose Font, who previously of Southampton, West Ham, now plays for Lille, he commented on a post which said he could be losing another centre-back teammate to the Premier League, and that teammate was David Carmo, I believe. Or am I thinking of the wrong one? I might think of the wrong one here. Just bear with me. Was it David Carmo? I'm just going to have a look. No, sorry, I'm speaking out the wrong person. It's got here, Liverpool interested in 21-year-old centre-back David Carmo from Braga. He has a 35 million release clause, but the Reds might be able to get him for less. So Liverpool going after a centre-back. But another centre-back that they were linked with was the one that Jose Font commented on, saying that he might lose another centre-back partner to the Premier League. And he said, he wished, he said not another one and stuff like that. The player they mentioned was Sven Botman, who plays for Lille. And the problem I see with this deal going through, and I think the problem that a lot of people haven't realised yet, is that Sven Botman only joined Lille in the summer from Ajax for 8 million. So would Lille negotiate a deal after just signing him in the summer? Is he an important player for him? Probably. Would they negotiate a deal? Who knows? Would they get more than 8 million? They probably would. But it's all about time, and it's all about whether clubs are willing to sell. But that is a name that Liverpool are linked with, Sven Botman. However, like I mentioned, he only recently joined Lille from Ajax in the summer. So I think that could be a little bit of a difficult one for Liverpool to get done. But who knows? He may want to go to Liverpool. Lille may be looking to negotiate, and we'll see what happens there. Let's have a look here. Shaqiri looks like he's going to be staying at Liverpool. Liverpool have changed their mind on him now, not looking to allow him to leave now. Shaqiri's obviously 29, but he's looked like he's staying. Max Aarons, I don't think there's any new news on him. United are admirers of him, but nothing new in terms of a deal being done. Like I mentioned earlier with Buendia, Norwich are doing well in the Championship, and they'll be looking to keep him and Buendia if they do come back up into the Premier League. They did do relatively well for him, and they'll look to probably build around him. So I don't think Norwich will be willing to sell in January. And if they are, they'll probably add 10 million, 15 million on, because it's January. They'll have to find a replacement as well. So that could be an interesting one, but I don't think Max Aarons will happen in January. You're looking more at the summer for Man United in that one. If you have been watching, please do smash a like on the stream, by the way. Really do appreciate it. There's still nothing new about Sami Khedira. Everton's massively linked with him due to the Ancelotti link, and Tottenham also interested as well, but nothing new there. Just having a look, really. Rojo is the breaking news that's really just come out. I don't think much else has, to be honest. But let me just double check. Yeah, nothing new from what I can see in much news. I think the big news is this one here for me. Arsenal going against, deciding not to make a move for Isco due to Smith Rowe's form, and fair play to him. He's come into the team. I don't think he's had many chances. I think he went out on loan last season or season before. But he's come back in, and he's the sort of the forward line of Lacazette, Saka himself. They're sort of firing at the minute, and they're doing the job for Arsenal. So I think that's a bold strategy to turn down a move for Isco because of the fall of Smith Rowe, because he could easily tail off. I mean, we've seen it multiple times, especially with United. You look at Lingard, you look at Pereira. He probably had a good bit of form, but he's dropped off. So look, I think Arsenal have to explore other players, another quality players to get in. I think Julian Brandt's another one they're looking at getting in, but nothing on him yet. So look, you have to see what happens with Brandt and with Isco as well, because I think Isco could end up going to Everton still. Ancelotti link again. Obviously, I don't think he's playing too much at Madrid either. But yeah, no, that kind of shocked me. But apart from that, I think everything else is pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, like I said, if you have been watching, please smash a like. Let us know in the comments if there's anything you want me to mention. How regularly do you want these live streams? And sort of on the episodes, is there anything you want to talk about? We are trying to cut them a little bit, but you know, it is tough. It is tough when we get going. We don't really stop talking about football. Morgan unfortunately couldn't join us this evening. He's a little bit busy, but I'm sure he'll join us at some point. But yeah, he told me not to mention the United Villa game too much. I suggest I suppose we'll leave that for one of the podcast episodes. But no, like I said, if you have watched and stayed to the end, really do appreciate it. Hopefully, you know, in the next couple of days, we'll have some more news. Even tomorrow, we may have some more news. May go live again tomorrow, just to sort of see what's happening, and go from there. Really. So yeah, like I said, please smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Please subscribe. We're always trying to get more subs, get more likes, and really push on. But yeah, if you have enjoyed, thank you for watching, and I guess we'll see you in the meantime. Thank you, guys.